Hello, today we'll continue with the basic of JavaScript. If you like this animation, you can find it in my channel in the CSS animation list. And last video we learned about functions, and today we'll learn about arrays. So how to initialize an array? You can initialize array in two different ways, and this is the way. And by the way, here you can make it exactly the same variable, like you can use the word var or const or let, and you give it the array a name, and here you need brackets, square brackets, and you put the semicolon always in the end of statement, any statement in JavaScript, and you put inside the value of array, and you separate it with comma. So this is how it's look. This is how we select. You can do it in different way by using the object array. So you make a new array and you put the value here as a parameter, and you separate the value with comma. This is exactly will return the same, but I don't know, you can use any one of them, but I never use this one, so I always use this one, but they are exactly the same. So you can, what you find more comfortable for you, you can use it. And how we access the value inside an array, so we should know that each array have indexes, and it's zero base index. So this is the first value inside an array have index 0, and second one index 1, and the last one index 2, and like this. And this is how we can use indexes. So when name of the array, which is names, and inside square brackets we put the index, and index 2 here it's when 0 1 2, so should be Mike. Let's check if it's Mike, and yes, it's Mike. And you can put index 1 and it will be Mark, and if index 0 it will be John. If you put index not exist, like 3, because now there is no index 3, you will get undefined because still nothing. And this is you can use this. There is a lot of methods to use in array. We will not learn about it in this video, because this video only for basics, but one of them, you can use the length. So this is a method, you call it the array. So this is the array, you put the array dot length, and you get here the length of the array, and here the length should be 3 because you have 3 value. Let's check, we'll get 3, and here we get number 3 because this is the length of. So if we add 1 more, we get 4. So this is how we get the length of array here. So how we can reassign something or add something to array. So here the names index 1, we will cancel the array here, and we put an index 1 which should be Mark, we put pen. Let's check what happened. And in this time we're replacing Mark the index, so we reassign the index 1 to Ben. So this is how we assign a value inside an array. If you want to change some value, and you have the index, you put names, the name of the array, so the array, curly brackets, square brackets, and inside you put the index, the target index, which should be here mark, and we reassign to whatever you want. And this is what we get. The mark has been replaced by Ben. Here we have an array with different, we don't need the first array anymore. We have an array with different data value, and luckily you can do it in JavaScript. In some another language you cannot do this, like Java for example. So here you have a boolean, you have a string, and you have a number inside one array. So you can't do this in JavaScript. Now we will learn some methods we can use it in array, and it's really usable method. You will use this a lot. For example, the method push. Push. Here we will cancel log the Mike array. So we should get Mike Smith 1990 designer false, but here we push blue, so it means it will push after last index. So after false it will add blue, and this is what we get: Mike Smith 1990 designer false, and we have the word blue. So because we use the push method, and this is what this method do. It's add to value, this value added to the array in the end of the array. So we have unshift, it's do exactly what push do, but it's added to first index before first index. So let's check now what we will get if we use unshift. So here blue still, because we still doing this action, but we add the Mr. here in the first, and we add it by unshift. And this is how we add in value in the first in the beginning of the array by using unshift method on the array. So you need the array, you put dot unshift, and inside unshift you put what you want to add in the beginning of the array. And the push, it's exactly the same, but put it in the end of the array. It's added to end of the array. Now let's check what this method do. It's pop. Let's cancel local mark, and it remove the last value in the array. So here you can have false, but here it's not anymore exist. So it's remove it, and actually it's remove it and return it. So we can do this, for example. As they do let last index, so the last index, and we cancel the last index. We don't need now the mine. So if you can see, we have false. We cancel last index, this variable, because the pop, it's remove the last value from the array and return it. So if you want to use it, you can use it here. You can assign it to variable and use it, but it will removed from original array. So you need to be careful about it, because it will affect the original array. If you want just to use the last value, you can do it by the array Mike, and you need to the brackets here, and you put Mike dot links -1, because the links, it will be 5, but this is have index 4, so always the links of the array -1, it will give you the last index. So now we will get also, we get designer, not false, because we remove it, the false here. So we need to remove this. So here we get the false, because this is get the last index in the array. Use the array and brackets and the array again with the links. So this is, it will return 5, for example. Here it will return 5 and -1, 4. So in total here we'll get number 4. The value of this number 4, it's mean you are asking for the index number 4, the index 4 from the array Mike, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the last. So if you use this array and you put array.links inside it -1, you always will get the last index value. You can use this is another method you can use it, index of. If you want to know index of some value, you can use the array dot index of, and you put what you want to check. So in this way, Smith, so this Mike.index of Smith inside the parameter should be returned the index of Smith, which should be 1, and it returned 1. And here it will be the last one. Is a designer. Here we using the conditional statement Mike index of designer equal to -1. It's mean if it's not exist, Mike is not designer. So if because of the index of designer, so if designer not exist here in the array, you will get -1. So say here I want to display this. If it's equal, Mike's not a designer, so it will not exist, the designer. Otherwise Mike is a designer. So if not -1, any index from 0 to whatever, it will be returned Mike is designer. So this is designer should be returned as designer, because the index of designer not -1. Let's check, and Mike is designer. So if we are searching for something and it's not exist in the array, it will return -1. So he will assign this variable to Mike is not a designer, and this is what we get here, Mike is not designer. Next video we'll talk about objects. See you next video.